The African savannah is a theater of extremes where physics and biology collide in a desperate race for survival. In the golden light of the afternoon, a gazelle grazes with cautious ease, unaware that it is being tracked by a predator that has mastered the laws of motion. Suddenly, the grass parts. A tawny blur erupts into the open. Within 3 seconds, the predator is moving at highway speeds, its body expanding and contracting like a giant organic spring. Yet, amidst this violent upheaval of muscles and dust, the predator's head remains eerily motionless. It does not bob, it does not weave, and its eyes never lose their focus. This is the cheetah, a biological marvel, whose floating spine and stabilized skull represent the pinnacle of evolutionary engineering. To understand why the cheetah can keep its head still at 120 kilometers per hour, one must first dismantle the myth that speed is purely about leg power. While the cheetah possesses explosive fast-twitch muscle fibers, its true secret lies in its skeletal architecture, specifically the spine. In most mammals, the spine is a rigid support beam. In the cheetah, the spine is more akin to a high-tension bow. It is incredibly flexible, capable of bending and stretching to such an extent that the animal's stride length can reach nearly 7 meters. As the cheetah gallops, its spine acts as a storehouse of kinetic energy, coiling to bring the hind legs forward of the front legs and then snapping straight to propel the body through the air. This floating quality of the spine absorbs the massive shocks of impact, preventing the vibration from traveling upward. However, a flexible spine alone would create a chaotic, bouncy ride for the head. If a human tried to run at even a fraction of that speed, the internal organs and the skull would experience jarring forces that would make clear vision impossible. The cheetah solves this through a sophisticated dual stabilization system. The first layer of this system is the neck and shoulder musculature. The cheetah's shoulder blades are not attached to a collarbone. They are held in place by a complex web of muscles and ligaments. This floating shoulder design acts as a high-performance suspension system, similar to the shock absorbers on a desert racing truck. It allows the legs to move through an enormous range of motion without transferring the vertical displacement to the torso and head. The second, and perhaps more remarkable layer of stabilization is internal. Recent neurological and anatomical studies have revealed that the cheetah possesses an extraordinary inner ear structure. The vestibular system, located deep within the skull, is responsible for balance and spatial orientation. In cheetahs, the semicircular canals of the inner ear are significantly larger and more sensitive than those of any other feline. This enlarged system functions like a high-precision gyroscope. It detects the slightest deviation in head position in real time, sending instantaneous signals to the neck muscles to compensate. This is the biological equivalent of a professional camera Steadicam or a gimbal. While the body is twisting, leaping, and absorbing the impact of the terrain, the brain is making micro-adjustments to the neck to ensure the optical platform remains level. The necessity of this stillness is rooted in the physics of light and hunting. A cheetah is a visual hunter. At speeds exceeding 100 kilometers per hour, even a minor blur in vision could mean the difference between a successful kill and a broken limb. The cheetah's retinas have a specialized area called the visual streak, which provides a wide, sharp field of view. To keep the streak aligned with the prey's movements, the head must be locked into a stable frame of reference. This allows the cheetah to calculate the precise trajectory of a zigzagging gazelle, predicting its next move with mathematical accuracy. The head is the cockpit of this organic fighter jet, and in a cockpit, stability is paramount. The physics of the cheetah's tail also plays a critical role in maintaining this equilibrium. Often described as a rudder, the long, heavy tail acts as a counterweight during high-speed turns. When the cheetah needs to pivot sharply to follow a prey's evasive maneuver, it swings its tail in the opposite direction. This creates a counter-rotational force that prevents the body from spinning out of control. Because the tail manages the torque of the turn, the head can remain pointed directly at the target. It is a masterclass in angular momentum management, where every part of the cat's body is working in concert to protect the integrity of its gaze. As the chase reaches its climax, the energy expenditure is staggering. The cheetah's body temperature can skyrocket, and its respiratory rate increases from 60 to 150 breaths per minute. The heart pumps oxygenated blood at a furious pace to keep the muscles from seizing. Despite this internal firestorm, the mechanical precision does not falter. The spine continues its rhythmic expansion, the shoulders continue their dampening work, and the inner ear continues its gyroscopic monitoring. The head remains the eye of the storm, a calm, focused point in a world of 120 kilometers chaos. In the final seconds, the distance closes. The cheetah does not simply run into its prey, it uses its front paws to trip the target, a move that requires impeccable timing and depth perception. This would be impossible without the steady visual feed provided by its stabilized head. Once the prey is downed, the cheetah quickly brings its body to a halt, the flexible spine now acting as a brake to dissipate the remaining kinetic energy. The hunt is over in less than a minute, but the display of physics involved is a result of millions of years of refinement. The floating spine of the cheetah is not just a tool for speed. It is part of an integrated system designed for high-velocity stability. It proves that in nature, being the fastest is not enough. One must also be the most focused. Through the harmony of a spring-like backbone, a muscular suspension system, and the gyroscopic inner ear, the cheetah remains the undisputed master of the sprint. It is a creature that has literally evolved to outrun its own vibrations, turning a violent high-speed chase into a smooth, cinematic pursuit. This silent, steady gaze in the heat of the hunt is perhaps nature's most impressive technological achievement.